Oh.
Hi, this is my little head.
Hello chaps, how are we all doing today? It's Monday. It's the 6th of what? What month is it?
So what?
What month is it?
January.
It's the 6th of August.
What?
January.
I thought it was January! No, then it would be near my birthday, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Never
You're a
mind.
right twit, aren't you? Anyway, it's the 6th of August. I nearly said January myself there. Oh wait. And it's time for another bench update. Yes, bench update
Bum.
Monday, because we have our bum on Monday.
I'm sitting down, by the way, that's why I'm so small.
But you are small.
I'm not that small!
So anyway, let's got a nice little bit done this week. I got the Nashorn finished off. So if you've
Oh yeah, pretty this.
if any of you have been watching my videos, you'd have seen that I got it finished. I got the got it all done, and I'm quite happy with it. I really, really am. As one of the people who commented on it, they said sort of less is more when it comes to the dial, and I firmly agree with that. Certain dials that need to have loads in them. Other dials, then if you just have them as a display piece, then the less that's on it, the better. Okay? And you know, I'm not saying sparse, but you know,
Sorry.
just enough on it to make the model itself stand out. 'Cause that's what you want. You want to show the model. You don't want to really show everything else. But then there's other types of dials. Beasley's doing a fabulous one with two halves of houses, and he's got a street scene going on. So it's a whole scene. So he's got loads in it. I think there's about nearly 30 figures in it, all paratroopers, and and a couple of Germans as well. But you know, it depends on what you're trying to display. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go down to the bench. We'll have a look at what I've been working on, and a few bits and pieces that I'm going to start working on this week. Yep, this week.
Yay!
Okay, so here we are. We're at the bench, and here is the Nashorn.
I love it.
Couple of little bits and pieces. Be sure we point them out as we go along. Just dropping stuff everywhere.
I'll get it for you.
It's okay, it's not in view. Very spinny. So, you've got the model itself, the stone blocks that I got from Simon. We've got bits of that moss stuff. I have that there. The base then is a cheap pound shop blackboard.
Really?
Yeah. And I've got the base then. I just used a mixture of sand and a bit of green flock.
And
just mix that through.
Not all of it's glued.
Yeah,
in some places.
Yeah, that's when you put down your PVA glue. Not every little bit sticks. Then when it was all done, I just gave it a sort of an overspray and a wash and this, that, and the other. So it kind of weathered it up a bit, and I'm quite happy with how it came out. I really am. So that was the display base, as you can see. And then we've got the kit itself, and what a kit! An absolute gorgeous kit. It really, really is. Went together fabulously. No fit issues whatsoever.
That's good.
The figures are beautiful.
They're doing
I must thank Alex Hendry. He's in from Glasgow. Alex sent me on some helmet decals there for the Germans inside there. It just fell together without actually falling together, if you know what I mean. It was just such an easy kit to build.
That's good.
And very.
Would you say it would be easy for beginners?
Yeah. Anybody that wants to take up modelling, because everything fits so perfectly, then it's quite easy. If you take your time, you'll get a nice model out of it, you know. Like I do, exactly. Yeah. So just bits of basic weathering. I just painted it, give it its natural colour, sort of the factory fresh look. Give it a gloss coat. I'll tell you now in a second. Give it a gloss coat, and then give it a black wash. Then give it a pin wash on top of the black wash just to kind of highlight a couple of more areas. Used a bit of black paint then on a thin brush and sort of marked out just a couple of little spots that have, you know, a bit of wear and tear marks, we call them, okay?
Like that.
Yeah. And then went over them with a graphite pencil to shine up some other areas, just to show up sort of a bit of kind of silvering, you know, where the paint would have rubbed off, and yeah, around the edge of that and things like that. So that was it, lads. It was an absolute beautiful kit, really enjoyable, and definitely recommend it.
And the result is really nice.
How I got the shells so shiny is that's the paint itself.
What?
The paint itself. I used.
You used shiny paint?
Yeah, gloss paint. We're with Tamiya paints, right? If they've got an X before them, that means gloss, and if they are XF, that means that they're a flat colour. Okay, so that was the paint I used, right?
XF.
And it's X12 gold leaf. X12 gold leaf paint. Okay, so that was a nice goldy colour, and that works. Yeah, that works perfectly then for the shells. And we've even got our shells inside here in the shell stowage area. If you look at them,
they're also shiny.
You can see them here. They're also shiny as well. So that was the Tamiya 1/35th scale Nashorn, an absolutely beautiful kit. So we'll just put that behind us now. So guess what have we got coming up? But before I get into what I got coming up, I was doing a bit of a tidy up last night in here, and I cleaned up, you know, going through all the empty boxes and things like that. And I found that I had two figures. They were 1/24th scale British Army figures. They're from the Centurion that I built, the 1/24th scale Centurion. So I just made them up, and I'm not going to do a display or anything with them, but they're handy if you've got some figures like that. Instead of just leaving them in the box and not doing anything with them, just build them up. Just build them up. Exactly.
And then you can use them for other things.
Yeah, but well, maybe not use them for other things, but because you mean the 1/24th scale, so I don't really build in 1/24th scale, but it's handy little painting practice, and it's something to do as well. So I did them up just to practice my old painting skills, because they are not the best. I'm not, well, okay, I'm not professional. I'm not bad. Okay, we'll say that. But so just a bit of painting practice with these, because I'm painting practice for figures, because yeah, I'm after going off and buying a 1/16th scale resin figure. Yeah.
Oh no.
A 1/16th scale resin figure. I got it all the way from China.
China?
Company that's, if you just stick into your search engine or whatever you want to call it, Google or anything like that, AliExpress, ALI Express, AliExpress, right?
They really do want that to break, did they?
And they do these resin figures and kits and God knows what else. Just type in what you're looking for on the top. You know, 1/16th scale figures, 1/35th scale figures, this and that and the other, and they are an unbelievably cheap price. They are unbelievable. Right, this guy, okay.
It's cool looking.
It's it's a 1/16th scale German. They're in resin. Now, if you look at the detail on that, isn't that absolutely frigging fantastic? I mean, look at the fur lined on the inside of of the hood. It's absolutely beautiful, and the detail on the belt and things like that, right? So, and you get all the parts.
Accessories.
The accessories, you know, he's got an MG42. Well, he's supposed to have an MG42, but unfortunately, I was missing the other part of it, of the MG42. It wasn't in the bag. So I went back into my order, opened a dispute, as they call it, and lo and behold, they basically told me to hold on to the figure, and they've refunded me my money. Okay. So that was really nice, and they've refunded me my money, and all it cost was €12. That was including postage. Okay,
that's
free
good, though.
free postage, €12. My God, for a 1/16 scale resin figure. Okay, I don't know what that comes to in sterling, but I'd say it's about 8 or 9 quid sterling for a resin figure. 1/16 scale and of that quality is absolutely beautiful. Now there may be knockoffs, as in they're not they're because they come from China. they're probably rip-off of Verlinden or something like that. But
who cares?
What? Exactly, Abs. Who cares?
As long as it's a model and something, it's fine.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to get him done. And when it comes to the machine gun, good old Simon to the rescue.
Thank you, Simon.
Simon did a 1/16 scale resin figure there recently. Okay. And on Simon's 1/16 scale figure, he came with a couple of weapons. And one of the weapons was an MG34. So Simon is sending me on the MG34. Now, even though this guy had an MG42, he now has he'll now have an MG34. Because the only difference between the 34 and the 42 was the barrel itself. Okay, the back part is basically the same. One or two minor differences, but we won't notice it because his hand is already kind of attached onto that. So here we go. We've got 1/16 scale resin figure.
That's kind of sad that you didn't get the gun though.
I know, but at least I got my money back.
Yeah.
And when I got my money back, it was back in my account within 2 or 3 days. I went back onto AliExpress and I ordered another figure.
Another one.
So that's on its way, and it takes about like they tell
Wait,
you
another one of the exact same one?
No, a different one again. And they tell you that it'll take up to 2 months to come. Okay.
And it just needs 2 months.
This thing took 2 weeks. 2 weeks is all it took. Okay, to come from China. It came by China Post.
What is this?
So I have another figure on the way. So John is going into the 1/16 scale resin figures as well. Sure, why not? But not straying too far from the 1/35 scale. Okay. I do have another kit. My last kit in my stash. The last of my stash.
Then you're skipping one. Dun, 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 dun.
This one here.
Looks small.
Okay. It's 1/35 scale.
Okay, good.
Soviet heavy tank KV2.
It looks tiny.
Okay, it looks tiny. Look at the size of that flipping turret.
The
It's
box
massive.
is tiny though.
Okay. Oh, it's tiny when you compare it to, say, the Nashorn box or the box that was off the Centurion. That was a massive box. But that's about the average size of a 1/35 scale box. Okay. Now I did an unboxing of this. It's not up on the channel yet. I will put it up during the week. When just before I start, I usually put up the unboxing. So it's in my computer somewhere. I must find it and then put it up. Okay, so we'll have this beast, shall we say, of the Soviet heavy tank KV2.
You like Soviet, don't you?
I do like the Russian stuff. It's got a bit of character to it, and this one is one of the weirdest tanks that you've ever seen.
What? Why?
Because the size of the turret, it is massive.
It's so small.
These things were basically designed
I don't know.
and mainly used for the war against Finland, and for knocking out Finnish bunkers and things like that. Yeah, someone drew that, and they were used for knocking out bunkers. Okay, so it was a big bunker buster. So when it came up against the German stuff,
wow,
nothing could knock it out. They were practically impregnable. Well, what the Germans invaded Russia with in 41. There was nothing there that could touch this thing, but they didn't have that very many of them, and they were kind of not really used that much. Okay, they only had a small number of them, and it took either airplanes or the ground 88s to knock them out. That was about all that knocked them out, and the Germans, when they captured them, they used them themselves. They repainted them and stuck their German markings on them, and they used them themselves. And I haven't decided with this one yet whether to do it as a German captured one or a Russian one. I don't know yet.
It would be cool if German one, because then you could put like, if you can get like people who are like
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do a dio for it. It's going to be a standalone because I don't have any more room for dios. This is just
but
one,
if you
this is one
did,
for my press, for the press.
If you did though, you could get people who are like talking normally, but you could make them shouting, and you could make them the Russians giving out to the Germans.
Yeah,
for
but
stealing
gave me back my tank.
Yeah.
You boldly Germans. Very bold, the Germans. So, so that's it, lads. That's about all we have in the B.U.M. So let's go back up to myself and Abs, and we'll do our finish up. So, catch you in a second. Right, lads. So that's it. That's about all I have this week. Bar what? What have we got left to do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Didn't somebody ask for the return of something?
Oh yes, the B.U.M chocolate and fruit. It's back, people. Yay.
B.U.M chocolate and B.U.M fruit is back. Yes.
Yay.
A couple of people have said that they missed the old B.U.M chocolate and the B.U.M fruit.
Yeah.
So we've decided to bring it back.
Because you know why
And
not.
if you don't like the B.U.M chocolate or the fruit, just stick a comment in the box below and then we might get rid of it again. Or if you want me to keep it, just stick a comment in the box below and say, we like the old B.U.M chocolate and B.U.M fruit, it's nice and different. So keep it in. Okay, so Abby's going to do the chocolate. And you, Abs, what's the chocolate? What's this week's B.U.M chocolate?
You go first.
Me first?
Yeah.
So B.U.M fruit first. So we're going B.U.M fruit first. And this week's B.U.M fruit.
It's the grapefruit.
Looks like a big orange, doesn't it? But it's not, it's a grapefruit.
I don't like grapefruit.
I like grapefruit. It looks like an orange, but it's not an orange, it's a grapefruit.
It's red in it.
Very good for your first thing in the morning.
Really?
Yes.
Mum has it like a spoonful of them.
Yeah, what I like to do is cut it in half, stick it into a little bowl, and sprinkle a bit of brown sugar on it, and have it first thing in the morning.
He's so weird.
Sure, we all.
It's because I moved.
Yeah, everybody knows I'm weird anyway, so you don't have to. I mean, they're not going to be surprised by the fact that you think I'm weird. So, what's left now is B.U.M chocolate, and Abby's got the B.U.M chocolate. So, Abs.
I don't like dark chocolate for my taste. Chocolate orange and dark chocolate.
Terry's dark chocolate orange.
I don't like dark chocolate.
She doesn't like dark chocolate, she says. How can you not like dark chocolate?
I don't know. Guess what? I love after-eights and their dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
But because it's a mint, you can't taste it.
Okay. So we've got a grapefruit for B.U.M fruit and
nope.
Terry's dark chocolate.
Okay.
Orange. So we've got chocolate orange and a non-chocolate grapefruit.
So, sponsors.
What do you mean sponsors?
The sponsor of the video.
Who's the sponsor of the video?
Not who.
What?
Yeah.
What's the sponsor of the video?
This mouse.
You are strange.
The mouse is the sponsor.
Mad as. Now you know why people call her Mad as a bag of frogs, a merry bag of frogs, okay? She's not all there. She's not all there.
This mouse with the blinding red light.
Okay.
Is this sponsor?
Okay, lads, that's it for this week. We'll catch you up again next Monday for another B.U.M.
Don't forget about the sponsors.
Don't forget the sponsors. Yeah. Okay. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed. If you have subscribed, I thank you very much. We do. Don't we, Gabs?
Yeah.
She's not well. I think I'll have to bring her to the specialist.
What? Specialist of sponsors.
Yeah, up to St. Joseph's Hospital.
No, the sponsors hospital.
Yeah, St. Joseph's Hospital is shall we say, it's a mental institution.
I'm not mental.
You're flipping are.
You are.
So let's catch you next week. Stay safe, enjoy your modelling, and don't forget.
Go out, buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it, and make yourself your own sponsor.
Build it and enjoy it. I better go before I've got to get this one off to the doctors. Seriously, do. Catch you during the week, lads, as well for updates on anything. You know me. I definitely will be putting up the unboxing for the KV2, and you never know. I might start on the figure. I don't know yet, I might actually wait until Simon sends me on the
Gun.
EMG 34, and that's just because it might need because I'll have to cut it in half and go fitting it together and playing around with it. So I don't want to go trying to do all that when building the figure. So let's catch you next week, and during the week, stay safe, enjoy your modelling, and like Gabby said, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it, because that's the main thing. Okay, enjoy the hobby. Bye bye.